What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome back. Playoff Dame time is back. I was watching the Pacers and the Bucks game last night, and my eyes were on Damian Lillard because, you're hearing things like he's unhappy that he's not going to play his best basketball because he doesn't want to be there and all that other stuff. You rip him. You go after him. He's the scapegoat in all of this. And then he completely goes off in a game. He goes completely off. That was the Damian Lillard you saw when he played in Portland. You're saying, okay, maybe he's not unhappy after all. Or even though it wasn't his preferred destination, he just takes pride in what he does. It's kind of like going to a 9-to-5 every day that you can't stand. You're miserable as hell, but you have to go every day to support your family and pay the bills. You're stuck there and have no choice. That's the situation for Dame. I say this to say you don't necessarily have to be content with your current situation. This is what it means to take pride in what you do, even if it's out of your control. And even if he didn't want to be on this team, he knows that he spends most of his time doing this so you make the best of it. It's not where I want it to be, but it's still a place where I can contend. My team is in the playoffs. Let's see how far we can take this. For someone who didn't want to be in Milwaukee, Damian Lillard let the world know what time it is. He let the world know what time it is. The bigger the moment, the more he rises to the occasion. We know this about him. And not having Giannis available, he was going to need to be that guy that he has been throughout his career when it counts the most. This is what he does. Take over ball games, steps up in a big way, closes out games with his clutch shots, logo shots, and outside shooting range. When it comes down to it, Dame is a playoff legend. And what you saw from him is exactly what you're going to need to see from him. This is what they need from him in order to have a chance. Now, does that mean he wanted to be with the Milwaukee Bucks? Not at all. But he's a closer. He loves the game of basketball. He takes pride in the game of basketball. He has a passion for the game of basketball. I know the man also had a lot going on in his personal life, the divorce, issues at home that kind of affected his play on the court. Dame didn't look passionate about being around there. There were all these assumptions and rumors about Dame not wanting to be there. I heard people saying this experiment was a failure. The trade was a disaster. Like an absolute disaster. I still believe the Bucks have to make a run in these playoffs to be successful. I don't think that the trade is a disaster after what Dame gave Milwaukee last night. I saw a guy who was locked in. Looking at the trade at first was not worth it, but did you see what he did on Sunday? I saw a guy who put the team on his back and delivered. I saw a guy who played his butt off. I will say I didn't think this trade made sense because you traded away your best defender, a two-way player in Drew Holiday, for Dame. This time, it looked worse, right? This team looked worse than before. Less leadership, no chemistry. A lot was said about Dame not fitting in with these guys. One of your superstars, Dame, didn't allegedly want to be there. So there was nothing looking at this that you can say this was a good trade. And then he goes off in game one of the playoffs and silenced everybody with a 35-point performance. Not a surprise at all. Dame stays ready. No Giannis, no problem. The highlight of Milwaukee's 109-94 win was Lillard's explosion. To tell the world he's still here, he needed a fast start. New home, same Dame. You just see it in his play. And I got to tell you, he's the best player that I truly believe lets his game speak for itself. And if you're going by what he did in game one, then clearly everybody knows that anything wild can happen in this series. Dame shooting the ball like that, oh yeah, you're in for a long series. It's moments like this, games like this, that could do more to change the trajectory of a team season. A player like him can turn the tide of a game, which can change everything about a series. You see his latest scoring binge, and I thought that Dame's offensive night reminded me of Kobe Bryant. The Mamba mentality, the unstoppable assassin that he is, the demonstration of marksmanship. I watched him dismantle the Pacers off his magnificent shooting night, and when he scores more than 30 points in a game, good things usually happen for the Bucks. That's a positive sign of good things, as evident in Sunday night's game, where he got the Pacers out of the game single-handedly with his shooting, facilitating, whatever else it was. In the regular season, Milwaukee was 17-3 when Lillard scored at least 30 points in a game. Dame was him last night. Nobody had an answer for him. The blockbuster trade hadn't worked well and looked really bad. Dame's first season in Milwaukee has been anything but smooth, as expected. After the Bucks completed the trade of the offseason, it was a complete disaster. It has been a disaster until he reminded us of what he can still do when he's on the floor. Now, the question going forward is whether Dame's game one performance is sustainable or flukish. The Bucks can make this a long series, especially if Chris Middleton is going to give you 20 or more, and if Bobby Portis is going to do his thing coming off the bench. You're getting contributions from other guys outside of Dame. There won't be any rush. There won't be any need to rush back Giannis if his tag team partner and the supporting cast can win without him. It just gives Giannis more time to rest his calf. Dame said, hey, remember me? Don't forget about me. I may have had a pedestrian year in which I struggled from an offensive standpoint while dealing with off-court personal issues, but I'm still that guy who can shoot the lights out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll talk very soon. Take care.